With HoneyBook, you can create professional-looking invoices that let your clients pay you straight away, impressing them and making your bank account happy. A win-win for everyone. When creating an invoice, you can either use an existing invoice template or create your own. I will be walking through a standard invoice template, which you can find in the template section. Once you set up your template, you can use it to create and customize individual invoices quickly and easily for your clients. Typically, your business information will be the first section in your invoice. It's linked with the business information you added in your company settings by default, so that it stays up to date automatically, for example, if you change your company address later. If you don't want this information to appear on your invoice, you can unlink it in the sidebar and edit it, or you can remove it if it's not relevant. Next, we have the invoice section. Fields in the header of the section, like invoice number and date, will update automatically as you send invoices. You can control which fields you show or hide on the invoice header from the sidebar. The service info part of your invoice lists the services your client is paying for, as well as relevant information about them. You can add new services on the spot or select from previously created ones. You can also move services around or delete them by selecting the service info section. To create a new service, simply add the service name, a description if you want to, and enter the price or price per unit if applicable. You can also control the quantity and types of units, as well as add any applicable taxes. Speaking of taxes, you can add them to your invoice here. And if regulations require you to charge different tax rates for different types of services, that's not a problem. Add them here and simply apply them to the individual services by ticking the checkboxes in the service info view. You can learn more about applying taxes in our Help Center at help.honeybook.com. All of the taxes are summarized below the service info section, which is also where you can add a discount to your invoice. Next, let's talk about the payment schedule. It's the section below services, and you can edit it by adding or deleting payments, changing the amount due per payment, and when it is due. You can customize the payment schedule to fit the way you run your business or what suits your clients. You can also use the sidebar to control payment settings by selecting how your clients can pay you, as well as adding gratuity and setting up autopay. Learn more about gratuities, autopay, and how to turn your invoice into a recurring one from our Help Center. Now that you're happy with your invoice template, let's take a look at the client experience by previewing it. You can do that from the top menu and see how any changes you make reflect on it in real time. Once your client receives your invoice, it is super easy for them to pay. Every invoice has an additional payment page where your clients can add their credit card or bank details and process the transaction. Before you send your invoice, make sure to configure its settings and note whether you have client authentication activated, meaning that to access the invoice, your client will need to provide a temporary access code HoneyBook will send to their email inbox. We recommend leaving it on for that added layer of security, but you can easily turn it off if you want to. Now let's use this new invoice template we've created to send an invoice to a specific client. If it's a brand new client, you can select New here. If you already have a project for the client, you can choose an existing project instead. This will copy your invoice template and create a specific version of it that you can customize for this client. Don't worry, these changes won't affect the original template. Press here and decide if you want to either send the invoice over email or share it as a link. Now it's your turn. Log into HoneyBook and start creating invoices for your clients today. And if you have any questions about invoices or anything else, visit our Help Center at help.honeybook.com.